We want to invite everybody in as we prepare to sing some of our favorite Christmas songs. Also, if you go to watchmosaics.com, you can subscribe and be on our email list, so as we do more of these performances, you'll be in the know. Again, that's watchmosaics.com. We're excited to have you watching here, and we're excited to sing some of our favorite songs. Now, without further ado, let's go on with the rest of the show.
Mary had a baby,
my Lord.
Mary had a baby,
My Lord.
Mary had a baby born in a manger. Mary had a baby, oh
Now behold the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God, born into sin that I may live again, the precious Lamb of God. Now behold the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God, born into sin that I may live again, the precious Lamb of God. Holy is the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God. Why you love me so, Lord, I shall never know. The precious Lamb of God. Holy is the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God. Why you love me so, Lord, I shall never know. The precious Lamb of God. Now behold the Lamb, the precious Lamb of God, born into sin that I may live again. He's the precious Lamb of God. I always didn't do right. I went left, he told me to go
sing glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. Angelic host proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Sweet baby Jesus boy, they made you be born in a manger. Sweet little holy child, we didn't know who you were. We didn't know you'd come down to save us, to take away all our sins. Our eyes were blind, but we couldn't see. We didn't know who you were. Oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, Jesus, so lonely, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy we bring. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. Jesus, Jesus, oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, Jesus, so lonely, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy he brings. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. He was heralded by the angel, born in a lonely manger. The Virgin Mary was his mother, and Joseph was his early father. 3 wise men came from afar. They were guided by a shining star to Jesus, Jesus, where he lay in a manger filled with hay. Jesus, Jesus, oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, Jesus, so lonely, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy he brings. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn King. Jesus, Jesus, oh, what a wonderful child. Jesus, Jesus, so lonely, meek and mild. New life, new hope, new joy he brings. Listen to the angels sing. Glory, 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 glory to the newborn King. Glory, glory, glory to the newborn
Oh, welcome, welcome. Yes, yes. Jesus, Jesus
Oh, what a
is
wonderful
born.
child.
Oh, what a wonderful child.
Gia.
What a wonderful child, yes.
Gia.
Amen. So we're going to go into our second section here. If you've been with us before these past couple of nights, we're going to do these Q&A sections. While I'm talking, if you want to grab chairs, which
Look at
are,
God.
they're in that back corner over there.
Let him use.
So you can take a little seat. So we're going to do a quick Q&A section and song suggestion section. So in the chat, so I have my computer over here. I'm going to watch the chat. We're going to talk about the world, about what's going on, about who we are. And you can put questions in the chat. And we're also going to sing some songs as they kind of come up throughout. But again, I want to thank everybody for joining us and watching tonight. If this is your first night here, this is the third night. If you missed the other two nights, you can go to watchmosaics.com and find the other two shows. You can find us also on YouTube and Facebook. Last night was the Ashley Jenkins Christmas show, which was fun. And then the first night was Home for the Holidays with Marcus. And they're both back with us tonight to bless everybody, bless the people. And then joining us, we have the wonderful and the beautiful Kayla Johnson. And so we're just going to talk a bit. So I want to start out with something that we do in our staff meetings here at the church. We start every staff with a joy. I want to talk a bit about, this year has been a year for the record books. But where have you all, and we can start with, we'll start with Marcus and we can go out from there. Where have you been able to find joy this year in your life?
Joy. I love me some joy. I would say I'm finding a lot of joy in the moment that we've had today. I would say today was just a day of joy, a fellowship. I got to see one of my friends that I've known for a while, and I got to meet Ashley, and we've been having fun all day, working, singing, and all these things. And because of the state of the world, things have been so isolated, and so it's just been great to just fellowship with people and sing with people. And that to me is true joy. So that's where I found some joy today, for sure.
Yes. Ashley?
Me? I have been, my constant joy is my husband, Anthony, and my daughter, August. Like, I've been so fortunate that throughout this whole thing that even in the times when I felt uncertain and just confused and concerned, I know that I can wake up every morning and see them and not feel alone. And they make me laugh hysterically. So that's really where I just soak up all of that joy when I really, really need it.
We all need to soak up a little bit of joy right now. Miss Kayla?
I've been away at college for most of the year, and so my joy is being able to safely and healthily come back and spend this special time with my family, my mom, my dad, my sisters. It's just something that's taken for granted now that I realize is a privilege. Very joyful.
Family and community, especially with everything that's gone on this year, has definitely come back into mind, especially some of the songs we've been singing today, and especially the song we're going to do next, which is Perfect Praise, is a song we used to sing at the church where I grew up. And it was funny, it wasn't originally on our list today, but I was just flipping through things and I started playing it, and everybody was like, oh, well, we know that one. We said we have to have this one in. So we're going to sing a little Perfect Praise for you tonight.
thy name.
There is.
There is none like you. None like you. None like you. Jesus, excellent is thy name. In all the earth, in all the earth, in all the earth, Jesus, excellent is thy name. Excellent is thy name. In all the earth, in all the earth, and every tongue confess that He is Lord. Jesus, excellent, 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 excellent.
I don't know how I moved to that. Jesus is excellent, isn't he? Now, the title of this concert is Black Christmas. Because, you know, we as black people have a certain way of putting our spin on things, on certain music. But this year, I mean, for many years, despite all the struggle that we have to go through, we still find a way to sing. But this year has definitely been extra tough, but in a good way. It's been hopeful seeing all of the protest and everything that people are putting their weight behind us and really starting to pay more attention. With that, you know, a lot of people thought we were out of the civil rights movement, but we're still fighting. What has it been like being a black person in America throughout all of this. And growing up, you know, in this world, what have you learned? What has it taught you that you carry through your life? I'll let whoever wants to jump in on that.
I will say, I think this year, throughout everything, and me being a black woman in America, I've been finding my voice. I don't think I was one to call out things or stand up for myself in situations where it needed to be. And everything that's happened recently has shown me that that's necessary. And that it's time. It's my time. So I've been stepping into that, and it's felt really good. I'm growing into black women, which I'm very proud about. It's been really nice being in my college town, seeing a bunch of protests and a lot of my friends going out to protests. And it's been, that's not all that needs to happen. And I've had to do a lot of explaining. A lot of my friends had to do a lot of explaining, and that gets exhausting sometimes, but there's work that needs to be done, and I'm happy to do the work.
I would probably, I would, for myself, self-advocacy is definitely one, but in reference to that last part of what you said, mine is kind of the opposite, is not explaining, like really standing firm in not having to explain my blackness to anybody, and surrounding myself with people who are good at that, who are like naturally good at that, because it helps me practice, for lack of a better word, like to not explain who I am, and to do that for my daughter, particularly because like we're the same complexion, we're darker, and I grew up with a lot of stuff, as I'm sure a lot of people in our community did, but with complexion and with my hair and with being natural and being not just okay with it, but celebratory in it. So I think that's probably one of the things that's really, that I've come away with where we are right now.
Yeah, something you said in there too, celebrating our blackness. That is something that I've definitely found it hard to do before this year, but with everybody coming out with their stories and really talking, it's definitely helped. And it's definitely shown me too how important representation is. Yep. It wasn't until this year that I really thought about how, in the theater and the things that I do in the theater, I never saw anybody that looked like me do any of it. I'm not sure if this is 100% correct, but, the last person to win a Tony Award for best score for a musical that was a black person was for The Wiz, or that's like the one that people know. And that was how many years ago? And there's so much good black art out there, so many good black stories that need to be told. And that's, why we started Mosaics, and not just for black stories, but for all stories that have been, oppressed and pushed down because the people didn't want to see them, because they didn't want to deal with those feelings. Well, now we need to deal with that,
I just want to say, I am invincible. Period. If only I knew all the different angles at which people were gunning for me to die, to lose, to fall under. I don't. But the ones that I do know, they're there. And I'm still here. Thriving, not just surviving. Living, laughing, fellowship, singing, enjoying life as much as I can right now. Invincible. Y'all, as a black person, living life, enjoying it, is a luxury, and it is against all odds. And what I have learned over all this time is that there are so many things trying to bring me down, and there are so many things that I will refuse to let me down. Last thing I'll say, I live by Prospect Park, so I walk there all the time. And there's a spot halfway through the trail where they just put up this huge like mural, and it says, "Come celebrate with me today that every day something has tried to see me fail and has failed at that." No, sorry, someone has tried to see me die and have failed every day. Every day you woke up and somebody was looking down on you, and here you are, invincible. And so I just step in that, like you said, don't question your blackness. You're alive. That's enough. That's a superpower. Sorry for the sermon.
I mean, but to also kind of bring it into like who we're celebrating, Jesus didn't explain himself. Jesus said, come on. Clearly, I'm paraphrasing.
Come on,
essence,
folks, and come on down.
Get with it or don't. But
Come on, get with it.
like, but I know whose I am, and I know what my calling is. So I can't be concerned with what the people have to say or the people who want me removed from this plane. I have no time for that. And so that to me is something to think about as we're talking about blackness, as we're talking about this season and kind of a through line. That's all I got to say. That's it.
How has this year and the pandemic affected any of your lives?
It's made my family, like my husband, my daughter, much closer because we're stuck in a house. And so it's like, yay, we're so much closer. And it's also like, oh God, we're so close. But it's all good. Like, just the way that my husband and I operate as partners has grown so much. So, I mean, of course, there are so many things that have occurred. We've lost people and loved ones, but I know for me, it has been actually something very, very wonderful in building and nurturing my family.
The joy. You got to find joy somewhere. Anybody else?
It's affected in a lot of ways. I'll say a good one, though. I've just had a lot of time to reflect on myself, which I've never had time to do before. So I was walking around with a lot of weight that I didn't have time to evaluate. And I had nothing to do but evaluate myself and sit with myself. And I learned a lot about myself. And I'm helping myself now, which I've never done. And I didn't realize I haven't done it before. But that's something I'm really grateful for with everything that happened. It's just given me a lot of time to sit with myself, be with myself, to love myself, and just understand myself, which is I'm grateful for. That's something.
Yeah, it definitely, I felt like a lot of people, and I was one of those people that when the pandemic started, it put a hard brake on everything. And it forced everybody to go, oh, this is the world we're in right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think without it, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. A lot of things that needed to kind of come up and sores that needed to open up so we could deal with them. But one of the things where I found joy was finding new music online and finding new things to look with. And on YouTube, you can fall down these holes very easily. But one that I'm very grateful for, there's a soloist that was singing, "He looked beyond my fault and saw my need." And it reminded me of the beauty of the way Black people sing and interpret music. And so I've asked Marcus to sing the arrangement of this. And so, be blessed by Marcus singing, "He looked beyond my fault and saw my need."
I'm gonna take my time with this one. Amazing grace shall always be my song of praise. For it was grace that brought my liberty. I shall never know just why Christ came to love me so. But he looked beyond all of my faults, and he saw Amazing grace shall always be my song of praise. For it was grace that brought my liberty. I shall never know just why Christ came to love me so. But he looked beyond all of my faults, and he saw my need. I shall forever lift mine eyes to Calvary, to view the cross where Jesus died for me. How marvelous that Christ came and caught my falling soul. But he looked beyond. I said he looked beyond my fault and saw my need.
Amazing grace. That's what we need this year for sure. Yes.
Sing. Sing it.
I mean, imagine. I got it. I just got it. Got to shake it out a little bit. But imagine somebody looking past everything, all that there is, and just seeing what you need and lifting that up. I talked about earlier, so many people just ready to pick on the small things, the bad things, the low things, the color of your skin. Imagine somebody looking past all that and just saying, "You, ooh, let me not." Pray.
I mean, that's the grace that we need. I mean, that's what we need in America is imagine if everybody did that for one person a day, we'd all be helped a little bit.
Praise.
So, let's change it up a little bit and go a little lighter, a little happier. What is your fondest Christmas memory?
Yeah. Sorry. So, growing up, it was just me and my mom, and I mean, it was only until I was a grown-up that I realized, like, oh, we didn't have a whole lot of money. We weren't rolling in dough. I never felt like that as a kid. And so one Christmas, we couldn't afford to get a Christmas tree. So my mom took the garland, like the green garland, and put it on the wall, tacked it. I can't remember if she stapled it or taped it. We were living in an apartment. It don't matter. And put the green garland in the shape of a tree, took the red garland and made the trunk of the tree and hung some of our ornaments on it and like strung the lights. And y'all, that was our Christmas tree. And I remember being like, don't nobody got a Christmas tree on the wall. Like, whoa. And one of my best friends, I mean, she's still one of my best friends to this day, randomly will, when she had her son, and one Christmas, she just texted me and was like, girl, remember when your mom had the Christmas tree on the wall? And it's just one of those very, very small things, but it meant so much to me. And again, like at the time, I didn't know it was because we couldn't afford a tree. I thought my mom she was a visionary. Like, y'all got needles and stuff on the floor. We don't even got to vacuum nothing. We just got to roll it, fold it up, put it in a box. And like, so that's just one of my best memories. It made me so happy.
Monica, Kayla, you have a memory you want to share?
Y'all heard my memory. Y'all want to hear it again?
Yeah. Well, everybody wasn't here for that.
You're right. Not everybody heard it. All right. I told this story before. So at my dad and stepmom's house, I would switch between houses. I'd go between houses, of course. And at my stepmom and dad's house, we had this game called Find the Pickle, which is there's a pickle-shaped ornament that you put on the tree, and since it's green, it would blend in. And so whoever was like the leader that year, whoever was the pickle person, had to buy a gift that the other two people would like. And so the other two people have to scavenge every year for the tree, and whoever finds it opens the first gift, which is the pickle gift. And so that is something that we do all the time. I don't know where they picked that up.
Right.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Right.
But it was, And I don't think it ever really meant, like, I don't think I thought that it meant much until later on. I was like, wow, until the first time that I wasn't home for Christmas. I was like, wow, it's weird not doing the pickle this year. Of all things, the pickle. So yeah, that's I guess that's a recurring memory, but that's an awesome memory that I have of my Christmas. Always, just something that lets me know that it's time. Thank you.
I love Christmas in my house. We do a big Christmas breakfast every year, and it's been cool because at first, I could just only set out napkins and plates and forks because I couldn't cook. And I have two younger sisters, so now everyone's at an age where we can all make something. So after we open presents, we all just start making our separate part of the breakfast, and then we meet in our living room, and everybody displays what they made, and we always watch Polar Express and Elf every Christmas.
Elf is a must.
Every Christmas.
Elf is a must.
Is it just me that watches Horton Hears a Who?
Is that a Christmas?
It's not a Christmas thing. I always watch Horton Hears a Who.
Well, but you have a special attachment to Horton Hears a Who.
Hush. I don't know. There was just one year where, I don't know, being a kid, I'm always up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, okay, it's time it's December 25th. Where's my gift?
Like, what's happening?
And so I couldn't fall back asleep, so I went downstairs and Horton Hears a Who was on. And so from now on, that's what we're watching.
Oh my Lord.
Maybe it's just me.
Yeah,
I guess
it
so.
is.
It's just you. It's
But
just you.
Beautiful.
It's just you.
Beautiful. What about you, Derek?
One of my favorite memories that, and I'll preface this by saying I am a fan of children, but more so in the sense of I'm excited to have my own child eventually.
You ain't never lied. You never lied.
I don't know about other people's children, but eventually my own child, yes, I'm ready eventually to have a child. And one of the things that I look for is, growing up, one of my fondest memories was every Christmas putting out the Christmas lights in front of the house with my dad. They would normally take 2 days. And of course, as you can see by the space, I like to decorate a lot. And so as I got older, each year it got more and more. But he never complained. He just helped, and he let me put lights wherever we wanted to. And that's one of the things that I want to definitely do when I have kids, is the decoration of the house.
Yeah.
And creating those memories, those family memories. And hopefully this time next year, we'll get to have some of those again, we'll all be vaccinated. The world will be in a better place in 2021. It has to be. I'm saying now it's going to be. And we're going to make it through this. Now, let's sing one of my favorite songs. A Little Mary, Did You Know?
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy is come to make you new? And this child that you've delivered will soon deliver you. Hit it again. Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm a storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels ride? And when you kissed your little baby, you kissed the faith of God. Mary, did you the dead will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? And the sleeping child you're holding is the great I Kayla, you know you just sing. Mercy. God. Just open and...
So do all of you. You do too, Ashley. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about other people right now. Oh, holy night.
So, I have one more question before we do the last song in this set that was requested by Pastor Kathy here at the church. What is your hope for 2021?
Continue growth.
Yeah.
Continue growth. Continue pushback against everything that is against us. Things like lit on fire this year.
Yeah.
Let's not let it simmer down next year just because, we were forced to look at it in quarantine. Push it forward.
We got to keep this going.
I'm reading a book right now about mass incarceration. So I'm really ready to talk about it, but we ain't gonna do all that. All I'm letting you know is this is not the time. Once we finally got this, we were having days where there was blackout Tuesday, and music radio stations were shutting off their music and only playing black. Like, we got people's attention. Keep it going. That's my hope for 2021.
Now, is this like on a grand scale or just any kind of hope that we have, personal or?
It can be either, whatever is on your heart now.
Mine is just to continue with the self-care and which to me is very different. A lot of people feel like, well, let me put this mask on my face and let me paint my toes and do all of that, and that's self-care, and that is a part of self-care. To me, that's more like self-maintenance, but self-care is the work that I'm doing every day to be present, to obtain my higher self, those things. That's the hope that I have, that the momentum going into the year doesn't stop that for me.
Say the same thing. I don't want to have a repeat. I don't want to just have a standstill and be stagnant. Done that for a lot of months now. And we've done a lot in the stagnance. We've been stagnant, but we've done a lot. I feel like we could do even more about today. Yeah.
And I want to go outside.
You can go outside with your mask on.
No, I want to go outside.
I know what you mean. But I mean, you can physically leave your house.
We probably gonna be wearing masks from here until you come back, Lord. But I'm just saying, it's a new, thing that we're doing to stay safe and stuff. So it's probably gonna be a part of our lives. But when I say go outside, I want to be able to be with my friends and be less than 6 feet apart without being shunned. And, that's what I want. I want to be outside with the people.
It'll be one of the things that I'm hoping to do once we can get this church back open is we need a revival. We need to revive the spirit of people. And this building, it's almost like we've been in here for the past 3 nights, and so you can feel the room missed the music, it missed the joy. Because even when we have Sunday service, we live stream from the 3rd floor because it's easier just with the camera setup. But it's been amazing being back in here in these acoustics in this beautiful room to sing. Now, why don't we sing? So this is a song. It's one of Kathy's favorites, and we're going to sing a little "Oh Holy Night." Thank you, Ashley, for that. That was beautiful.
Welcome. Thanks, guys.
Just before we move on, I just want to read these. We got here, and yesterday when we were looking at this, Ashley and I were both like, these are the words, but we read them like, oh, this needs to be song this year. Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. That's what we need this year. The breaking of the chains. Now, our lovely singers are going to take a quick break, but while we have a bit of a break, so I've seen in the chat a couple people, first I want to give a little shout out to Brian Victor. This concert was kind of inspired a bit by his idea. We were talking, I think it was last Christmas, and he was like, we need to have a little bit of, sing some of the Black Christmas songs. And I was like, yes, we need to do that. So we're going to do it this Christmas. And we have his son, Chris Victor, here, who's going to come and sing This Christmas for us. So will you please welcome Chris Victor. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Mosaics while our singers are getting back in place and getting settled back in. So, this company that we've started here, our mission is to advance the world's evolution towards diversity and accessibility in the arts. And when I talk about diversity, I truly mean not only the diversity in the people that you see on stage, but especially behind the scenes in the company and the structure of the company, as well as the diversity in the content that we want to produce. Now, we're starting out with this series, and we hope to continue doing other concerts like this in the future. You can help us out by going to watchmosaics.com and going to our mailing list and subscribing so that you can find out when we have future concerts and future projects. We hope to do a wide array of things. I'm surrounded by multi-talented people who do things more than just sing. They all write and do all kinds of things, and so we want to create a space so more voices can be heard. Obviously, Broadway and all these things will continue to do work, but we can also create our space and help push, help move that the needle forward. And like I said, if you want to go to watchmosaics.com and subscribe to our mailing list, that's going to be the best way for you to find out when this next show is and other concerts like that. Now, as we move into our final set, this next song has become a bit of a staple here at Park Avenue, and it's one that Marcus brought to me. How many years ago was that? It was two or 3 years ago. No, it's been about 2 years. And ever since he sung it once, we sing it for just about everything. So here's a little bit of Amazing.
Long, long ago, shone a star far above the mountain. As three mighty kings wandered far across the desert sand. All that they had was their faith in that star for guidance. Journeying through such a strange, unfamiliar land. How would they find their destination? The three mighty kings didn't know which way to go, but they trusted in that light and revealed to them that night was the beauty that was Bethlehem below. And it was amazing, so amazing, believing that such miracles come true. And it is amazing, so amazing, what a little faith can do, what a little faith can do. Long, long ago, a people yearned for freedom, bound by a king from the only God they know. All that they had was their faith in that God to guide them, strong enough to see that king overthrown. How did they manage in the darkness with just one drop of oil to guide their way? Not enough for one night, but what a beautiful sight to see the flame burn stronger day by day. It was amazing, so amazing, witnessing a miracle come true. It's amazing, so amazing, what a little faith can do, what a little faith can do. How precious is the mystery, how beautiful than what we're told or taught. You ask what I believe in, what forces rule above. Can't say for sure if angels fly, but I can feel their love. It's amazing, so amazing, believing that such miracles come true. And it is amazing, so amazing, what a little faith can do. Hallelujah. What a little faith can do. It's amazing what a little faith can do.
are special indeed, and you could grow up to be anything, but who would imagine a king?
Shepherd or teacher is what you could be. Maybe a fisherman out on the sea, or maybe a carpenter building things. Who would imagine a king? It was so clear when the wise men arrived and the angels were singing your name, that the world would be different 'cause you were alive. That's why heaven stood still to proclaim.
One day an angel said quietly that soon he would bring something special to me. And of all the wonderful things he could bring, who would imagine?
Who could imagine?
So our night is coming to a close. And I wanted to end, since we won't be able to have Christmas Eve this year in the sanctuary, I wanted to end with a little bit of Silent Night. It's always beautiful to see all the sanctuary filled with candles and everybody together. We won't get that this year, but we can still sing together. So I invite you to sing along with us as we sing through Silent Night.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. So tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy night, shepherds wait at the sight. Glory streams from heaven above. Heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Son of God, as pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth. Ooh.
I'd like to thank everybody again for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoyed our little Black Christmas concert. If you did, please share this with your family and friends. It'll be free to view as well as the other ones all the way through Christmas and the holiday season. We wanted to definitely give back and let this be free for everybody. And so please share this with everybody, and I hope that you can find at least a little bit of joy in some of the music that we sung tonight. Again, thank you. Happy holidays, and stay safe.